Hello, muito bem-vindo, muito bem-vinda à aula de número 96 do Inglês 365. Na aula de hoje, nós daremos continuidade à aula de número 95, com a conversa que nós tivemos com o Wendell, que é o fundador da banda Bear Me Again, onde nós estávamos conversando sobre a banda e, particularmente nesse pedaço, sobre o nome da banda. E essa aula ela é uma aula de listening. Caso você ainda não saiba, o objetivo dessa aula é ser 100% inglês após o período de introdução dela. E é isso que nós vamos fazer. Então, daqui para frente, nós iremos escutar 2 vezes o trecho que nós estamos trabalhando essa semana. Primeira vez em velocidade normal, segunda vez em velocidade 75.75. E eu vou comentar as falas, comentar partes do que nós estamos conversando, mas tudo em inglês. Lembrando que é um curso 100% gratuito, se está agregando valor para você, envia num grupo de WhatsApp para um amigo, para um colega de trabalho, envia para o seu chefe ou para alguém que trabalha com você na empresa. So, let's go. So first, let's listen. We're on time 128 till 2:05. Normal speed. Hello guys, well, there's no running off topic, so whatever we say, that will be on topic. So that's now. But the first question I want to ask is, why Bear Me Again? Why this name?
Wow, great question, man. I could go on like the entire conversation talking about this. I don't know.
Let's do it.
So, Bear Me Again is like kind of like a prayer, a request to be renewed. You know, people are usually more familiarized with the translation bear as the animal bear. You know, but it's in Brazil, like people usually relate bear to the animal. But it's also a verb, and you know that you would be better explaining, which means to have it on you, with like to hold something on you, like a ring bearer at a wedding.
All right, so we went past the time a little bit. But yeah, that was the first time. Now let's listen again at a speed 0.75. So we're going to do slow it down a little bit, 0.75. And we're going to replay it. All right, 3, 2, 1, topic. But the first question I want to ask is, why Bear Me Again? Why this name?
Wow, great question, man. I could go on like the entire conversation talking about this.
All right, so this first part, we went all the way down here. So I ask, but the first question, when I say but the first question, it means we were talking about something before. And I go like, but the first question, I was saying there is no off topic. So everything is on topic. We will be talking about the same thing. We will be on topic for sure. But the first question I want to ask is, why Bear Me Again? Why this name? So this but is like almost like going on the contrary of what we were saying. It's almost like, however, like, for example, I don't like to drink soda, but I do, or I don't like to drink water, but I do, but I drink water, but I is like the opposite. And he has an expression just like, wow. So when something is interesting, you can go like, wow, that's interesting. Whoa, nice. So he goes like, wow, great question, man. Great question, man. He could have said good question, or that's a great question, or I really like the question. So there is no right or wrong when it comes to speaking English. It's all about what you want to say and finding the best way to express what you need to say. So it's not about like being right or being wrong. It's just all about communicating your message, saying what you need, what you want to say. Just place it over here. Okay. And then he continues saying,
I don't know.
let's do it.
So
He goes like, I could go on the entire conversation talking about this. So this I could go on is like, I could continue. I could be talking about it all the time. So I could go on like the entire conversation is just saying, I could continue saying that the entire time. I could go on. I could continue. I could be talking about it the entire time, the entire conversation. And then he says, I don't know. So this I don't know sounds like this. I don't know. I don't know. And then I go like, let's do it. So if you want to talk about it, the entire conversation, I am down for it. I'm up for it. Let's do it. So if you want to do that, let's do it. Because we were recording our podcast on episode 55. And the entire conversation was like 39 minutes, almost 40 minutes. And what he was saying is, my first question was about the name, right? Why bear me again? And he replied, that's a great question. We could be talking about it for 40 minutes. And when I say, let's do it, what I'm saying is, yes, why not? I mean, we're here talking, and if that's what we have to talk about, let's do it 100%. And then he starts explaining about why bear me again.
bear me again is like kind of like a prayer, a request to be renewed, you know.
And then he goes like, so, which is when you want to explain something, you can say so, which is a way to starting a new sentence. It doesn't mean a lot. It's just a very good connector. When you want to transition from one thing to the next, you can say so. So I just used it, but he says, I could go on like the entire conversation talking about this. I don't know. And then I go like, let's do it. And then he says, so, which is starting a new thing, sharing some information. And he says, so, bear me again is like, kind of like a prayer, a request to be renewed, you know, which is interesting if we think about it. Is like he uses the word like and kind of like a prayer, which is almost bear me again is a type of is almost like is similar to looks like it resembles it. It's a way of, so he's explaining what it means. And he goes like, bear me again is like, kind of like a prayer, a request to be renewed. So it's a request, something you ask for. So it is a request to be renewed, you know? And then he explains.
People are usually more familiarized with the translation bear as the animal bear, you know. But it's
Right. And then he says, people are usually more familiarized with the translation bear as the animal bear, you know, which is, he's saying that people in general, it's just generalizing, like bringing that to a general perspective, saying people, overall, people are usually more familiarized, they have more familiarity, they're more used to the word bear as the animal bear, you know. And this, you know, is like, did you get it? It's like bear. So the word bear has two meanings. One of them is the animal bear, like you can see here, bear. But it is also an action, a verb, which is what Wendell explains down on the video. So he says people are usually more familiarized with the translation bear as the animal bear, you know. And then he says,
in Brazil, like people usually relate bear to the animal.
all right. And then he says, in Brazil, like people usually relate bear to the animal, but it's also a verb. So this is very interesting. It says, in Brazil, so here in our country, in Brazil, like it's a way of saying like it doesn't mean much. It's just a word filling the gaps in between. So he goes, in Brazil, like people usually relate, usually associate, usually connect the word bear to the animal bear, but it's also a verb. But it's also a verb, which means it's an action. What is a verb? Verb is an action, something that's like run, do, speak, try, teach, learn, see, smell, taste, hear, or listen. So all of those are actions. Move, like I'm moving my hands, this is also a verb. And bear is a verb, like we learned. It means to carry something. And that's the conversation we had. It was a short but very precise, very interesting conversation. As we've practiced this week, we learned what it means. We learned some new words, some vocabulary, and we also learned the structure. So what is the structure of this text? And today we're having this class, which is like 100% in English. If you understood me, be happy, because it means you're learning or you can understand quite easily English. And I hope you've enjoyed this class. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to share with your friends, with people you know. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much. Take care. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.